Hello, everybody. It's Steve with Real Progressives. Tonight is the big night of the clown show for the Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton. You did it. No, you did it. No, you cut the fart. No, you cut the fart. He who smelt it, dealt it, laugh in. Opposite of that, on Twitter and Periscope, will be 90-second rebuttals by Jill Stein through Periscope, and on her own webpage, she'll be throwing out live streams, etc. But I'm sitting here thinking about this, and it's such a farce. It's so damning and shameful that we've got to resort to Periscope and live streams. Now, mind you, we love doing live streams. That's what we do. But that we have our presidency, that we can't get people on the debate stage. And let's be fair, Jill is on the ballot in almost every single state in the country. Yet she can't get on the debate stage? That's just ridiculous. Something has got to change. And here's the big problem. And maybe you won't see what I'm saying. I'm glad to see that Jill will have rebuttals. I'm sure that our alternative media will be able to cover that. I'm sure that, some of these smaller blogs will be able to cover and give it exposure. I'm sure that the diehards on social media will be able to spread this around. But the reality is, the people that really need to hear this, they're never going to hear it. I don't know how to get that out to them. I mean, we can pump it out. We can get all 30 of our teammates sharing into every one of the groups. But chances are we're sharing into groups with people with like-minded sensibilities, right? So we're kind of preaching to the choir yet again. We're making a lot of noise inside the fishbowl. So, I'm sitting there reading just a moment ago, Jill was escorted off the premises at Hofstra University. She had press credentials with MSNBC to be interviewed. They told her no more interviews on campus, get off campus. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know whether she'll end up showing up, getting arrested, whatever. The point is that this is not what the leader of the free world should have to fight through in order to be able to have the opposing view, the view that we would like to see represented on that stage. And for all the people that were actually polled about who they support, whether they support Hillary, whether they support Jill, whether they support Trump, whatever, for those people that didn't ever get a chance to say, hey, I support Jill Stein, and never were able to get her legitimately up on the debate stage, I mean, this should really, really raise red flags to you. With all due respect, Jill is going to be preaching to the choir. I will be sitting there watching, glued to this. And there are 85,000 real progressives that in one way, shape, or form will most likely be glued to it somewhere else as well. But that doesn't equate to hitting the average citizen. This is the time of year where the people that don't give a crap about politics actually break out the remote control and put the debate on the TV, because this is the general election. Now we're playing for keeps. As much as we hate the shadiness that the Democratic Party did during the primaries, there was no elected office at stake there. That was a private entity finding who it was going to use as its nominee. Now the shit's real. This is the general election. And people do tune in for this. And Jill is not going to get the kind of recognition that she needs unless we find ways to get the word out there beyond our cocoon, to get the word out there beyond the boundaries of Real Progressives and all the other pages and stuff like that on social media. Now, we're going to do things like this, but in reality, you guys probably are already dialed into this stuff as well. So how do we crack the code to get past the MSM stonewall that we've got, to get beyond the structural boundaries that are there, that are blocking it? Jill shouldn't have to go to jail to have our issues heard. Jill shouldn't have to go up there screaming at Hofstra, let me in, to be heard. Yet here we are. This is the best we can do right now. Unless we, the people that support progressive causes, stop sitting there saying, bring back Bernie, and take that energy that you use those words and say, get Jill's voice out there. We need to have Jill Stein's voice outside of the cocoon of us diehards. I mean, there's people that come on this page and go, Stein? Who's Jill Stein? I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? Stein, that sounds Zionist. She supports BDS, folks. She's far from Zionist. Okay? And, how do we break that mold? How do we get out there? How do we get beyond the cubbyhole that is progressive echo chambers like this? I mean, let's be fair. I'm here preaching to progressives. I'm not preaching, unfortunately, within this scope to many others because, let's be fair, they know what we are and they avoid the place because they don't like hearing truth. But somehow or another, you guys have to help us magnify this, help Jill magnify this, because this is a huge deal. We've been talking all along that we've got to get Jill up on that debate stage. Otherwise, it's just going to be Hillary and Trump saying, you're bad, no, you're bad, you're bad, no, you're bad. Nobody's going to be hitting hard. Nobody's going to be saying anything factual. And the dummies are going to be out there going, did you hear Trump? He's such a bigot. Oh my God, we can't possibly suffer through Trump. And that's it. So how do we break through this? Folks, I'm offering up some ideas here. If you go out there to the Hillary pages, if you all are part of Hillary groups, go out there and tell them, spread the links, talk in those groups, because there's people in there that are still on the fence. Go into these Bernie groups where the still Sanders people are, since Bernie won't be on the debate stage either, and talk to them about helping us get Jill up there. Tell them to stop focusing on Dead Man Walking and focus on getting the one that's still running up on the debate stage. Love Bernie to death. He's not running. This is the problem. This is where all that bring Bernie back crap hit us. We could have been focusing that energy on getting Jill on the debate stage. Hashtag get Jill on the debate stage. Instead of hashtag bring him back. Now, don't get me wrong. If he comes back, he comes back. But he's not even a Democrat, folks. And they're still trying to hump their own party. And they don't like us. And Bob Kagan and Paul Wolfowitz and the Bushes, they're definitely not going to sign on to supporting a progressive. So that's why Hillary's over there pandering to the neocons. So think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. If you're going to sit there and you're going to say that this matters, then you've got to project your voice outside the echo chamber. You've got to get out there and start telling people beyond the gilded walls of progressivism that, hey, there's another person. Her name's Jill Stein, and she's really, really good. And she's actually running for president right now. That the world is treating her like crap, and they're treating our issues like crap. Tonight, Jill is going to be debating on Periscope. Basically doing what I'm doing right now into a camera. After she gets the debate question, she's going to be saying it back to you. I'm going to be watching. You'll probably be watching. But will the people that aren't already decided be watching? Ask yourself, will they? Got to ask yourself that question. And if you come up with the answer that I've come up with, probably not, then we've got to do it for her. We got to help get her word beyond our walls. You got to break from your comfort zone and get out there amongst the evil. Spread the word amongst the haters. And hopefully some hidden people that haven't been mouthing off will hear what they need to hear and help us make progress. But you can't make progress in echo chambers. We're trying hard to give you a springboard so that you can go out in the world and fight. We need to fight. This is it, man. It's game time. Do you have your game face on? Tonight's the night. Let's help Jill get the recognition she needs. She doesn't need to be jailed. She needs to be heard. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you tonight.